Hi chess friends, this is the FIDE master of Sandro Santagati, and in this video we go forward with the study about the outplay against the Scandinavia Defense. And in the last video we saw what to do after c6, and in this video we focused attention about knight f6. My tip is play simply knight f3, and in this video we see what happened after a6. The point is, what's the idea about a6? The idea for sure can be avoid knight b5, but could be also play b5, probably to bring this bishop to b7, to take this diagonal. And my tip is play immediately g3. In this way you can bring the diagonal, this diagonal, immediately. And g3 could be also useful to bring this bishop to f4. So it's useful is for the light bishop, but is for the dark bishop. So my tip is playing this way. After g3, the main variation is bishop g4, but we can pay attention in this video about what happened after b5. It seems logical to take space to bring the bishop to b7, but in this case you can simply play bishop g2. And now this bishop is dangerous, can make pressure against this rook. So bishop b7 seems forced, and now castle. After castle, I think black has two options, or e6 or knight bd7. For example, knight bd7 can have the idea to avoid knight e5, but in this way you can play bishop f4. Then queen b6, queen has to go away, and now a4 is a strong move. Probably is not the only move that you can do, maybe also d5 is fine, but I think a4 is slightly better, because you can make pressure against b5, probably b4, now you can play a5, and queen a7. Now the knight is under attack, so you must move the knight, probably on a4, and this pawn is weak, on b4, the queen is out. It's very passive, and the pawn c7 is hard to defend, so white now is much better. So this position is not so good for black. So this is my tip about how play against it. Yeah, so bishop f4 now is strong. Another option could be e6, but after e6 there is knight e5. I don't know. We must check if it's possible c5. C5 is a classical idea in this kind of position to make pressure against the d4 pawn, but in this way, in this kind of position, I think simply bishop f4 is fine, queen b6, and now again, or a4 is fine, or another option could be d5, and after b4, no problem, knight a4, and again queen a7. And the enemy queen is very passive now, so no problem for white after that. I think also knight e5, we can make pressure, is in this diagonal. The queen is passive, and white now is much better. If g6, for example, with all the pieces, I play rook e1, and black has not the time to deal the pieces, because I can play immediately knight takes, h takes. And now bishop d6 I think is winning, because if you castle, now bishop takes e5 and you win the queen. So this is a very nice tactical idea for white. So okay, this variation is very good for white, so we can go back and we can see what happened after e6, knight e5, bishop takes d2, king takes, and now they just take the diagonal with the queen. So before could be an idea, but if before queen f3, and now the queen is attacking the rook on a8. Probably c6 can be an idea to block this diagonal, but after knight e4 or also bishop f4, white is much better. Probably knight e4 is a little better, but it's not possible to take this pawn, because I can simply take on f6 and queen take on f6 with the winning position. Queen is attacking h8, f7, so now white wins. And so black cannot take the pawn, so probably can try to play something like queen d5. I don't like queen d8, because if queen d8, there is knight g5, and f7 is lost with a very bad position. The difference is that if you play queen d5 after knight g5, it can be playable, but there is the threat of the queen, and after king takes h6, the position is slightly different, because I can play rook h7, that can save the position. White is much better, but this position is playable. In the last position, after queen d8, knight g5, I think white is winning, so there is this important difference, because the weak position of the black king with the queen in the game is particularly hard. So yeah, we can see what happened after queen d5. Now I could play something like rook e1 if I like to add more pressure, and my deal would be c4, the next move. So knight d7, bishop g5, and now c4. B takes, there is en passant, but this position is very bad. No easy development for black and a lot of weaknesses, so this position is very, very bad. But I don't think there are other moves, because if you play, for example, bishop e7, I can simply play c4 again, and when you take, I take with the pawn, and when you, for example, castle, I can simply play c4, and if you take the pawn on d4, there is bishop g5, and I have a good pressure against the knight, against the queen, and the white is much better, because if you take knight, I take e7, and this is bad, because if queen takes, or takes e4, sorry, I mean first this, king takes, and I cannot take it because there is the rook, so but I can take with the queen, and this is a good endgame. White is up an exchange, so this position can be fine. Okay, perfect. So I think about this video, we full attention about the main topics about this variation. The point is, when a6, play g3 to develop the bishop in the right diagonal, and after that, if b5, you will take a very strong position after bishop g2. But you must remember the idea knight e5 and the idea bishop f4. In the next video, we'll focus attention about bishop g4 after g3, because bishop g4 is the main variation. And if you have questions about this video, feel free to comment below, and see you for the next video. Bye! Remember to follow me on social networks and share the video with your friends. Thanks!